Okay, episode one. Yeah, for Aladdin 1983. I'm actually sitting down with my team sergeant, AJ Root, legendary AJ Root, one of the original horse riders in Afghanistan, right?
No, I wasn't one of the horse riders. No, I was with A15.
But you have pictures riding horses in
Oh,
Afghanistan.
oh no. See, I do have pictures of riding horses, but that was in Kosovo actually, because
Oh, you're like the OG of the OGs.
yeah, OGs of the OGs. Yeah, this actually was in 2001 when we did that, but it was obviously prior to 9/11. It was earlier in the year, so we were
In Kosovo.
in Kosovo. Yeah.
So you're riding horses in Kosovo before even Afghanistan
Well, I
happened.
mean that's not the reason I was there, but yeah, we ended up riding some horses because we were working with a contingent of Jordanians and UAE soldiers, and we were based out of Bondsteel, Camp Bondsteel,
In Kosovo.
In Kosovo, yeah,
With Jordanians and
and UAE,
Emiratis.
yeah, Emiratis, yep,
God damn.
yeah,
Yeah, those fuckers are all the way operating over there?
yeah,
God
yeah. They
damn.
were operating over there, so we were partnered with them, so we were I guess kind of a liaison between the Jordanian slash Emirati contingents and the rest of what was going on in Kosovo. Wasn't really our field, fifth group. We worked in the Middle East all the time, but because they had some Middle Easterners there from Jordan and the UAE, they wanted a fifth group team there all the time to work with them to do the coordination. So middle of the night one night, the 82nd they had some sensors, some patrols out in the mountains between Macedonia and Kosovo, and there were gun smugglers with horse pack trains smuggling weapons.
Get the fuck out of
yeah,
here.
into the country. So they hemmed them up in this village. So they called us like, "Hey, you guys, get out here with your Jordanians and your Emiratis, and we're gonna clear this village." Well, it was in the middle of the night, and our partners didn't want to get up in the middle of the night because it wasn't a pre-planned event. So just the ODA went out there. So we got out there, and it was a battalion of 82nd Airborne out there. They had the village cordoned off, and they wanted to clear the village. And the commander, Lieutenant Colonel, was pissed that just 12 of us showed up instead of us, and about 50 or so of our
Contingency,
partners.
yeah.
Yeah. So they're like, "Fuck it, you guys are clearing half the village, and we will clear the other half." Like, oh, you with your battalion, you're going to clear half the village, and the 12 of us are going to clear the other village. So whatever, that's the way it went. Sure. And we cleared the village, and we captured a whole bunch of pack horses. They were calling them donkeys, but they were horses with the crisscross pack saddles on them, and collected up all the weapons and horses. Then further down, this is pretty high up in the mountains in Kosovo.
In Kosovo, yeah.
They're like, "Hey, we set up a DCP down in this little village." There was
A DCP for people who doesn't know
yeah.
what
Well,
a DCP
I'm fixing
means.
to explain it because it's not usually you have like a whatever collection points for casualty. CCP is a casualty collection point. So the DCP was the donkey collection point. That's where we were supposed to, even though there wasn't a donkey in the bunch, but it was whatever. I guess the boys having fun.
Yeah.
So anyway, we had to bring all these horses that we captured in the village down to the DCP. And I grew up in the mountains of eastern Washington, about 20 to 30 miles from the Canadian border, in a little town called Colville, Washington. Shout out Colville.
Shout out to Washington State and Colville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I grew up riding horses, so I was like, you know what? I'm riding my horse down to the DCP. So one of my buddies was on the team with me, red-haired guy, Danny Thompson. He's like, "I want to ride too." So he made me pull up. So we are all super top heavy because we have body armor on. We've got like 270 rounds of ammo. We've got grenades, flashbangs, M4, M9, breaching charges. You're very top heavy. That's not the way you would normally want to ride a horse. But however, that's the way it was.
The horse was struggling.
Yeah, so the horse was struggling, and he was struggling to get on the horse behind me. So I had to ride the horse up next to a bank because there was all dirt roads and stuff out there, so he could step off of the bank, get on the horse behind me. And And then we rode that horse down to the DCP, well, most of the way. And then whatever, we ran across another horse, so he ended up taking that horse down. I got a picture in the house with both of us with our arms around our horses.
Yeah,
We got down to
the
DCP.
placard over there. Yeah. And I saw the badge you had, like the European thing, like when you had like the access thing. It was like
Oh yeah, because we're part of what was the big organization?
I think it was like
Kosovo.
Yeah,
It was a big NATO thing.
it's a big NATO thing.
K4, there we go.
Yeah, and that's fucking amazing. How did you get involved in Afghanistan?
In Afghanistan, well, because was in 5th group. So most people don't realize this, but Special Forces is divided up regionally. So for every COCOM, combatant command, like PACOM is Indo-PACOM now, covers basically everything what we used to call the Orient, basically China, Japan, Korea, everything over there, all the way down to India. So 5th group, our area of operation was CENTCOM, Central Command, which is the Middle East.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I was a Farsi linguist, and later on also an Arabic linguist, and we did everything Middle East. That's the reason we were in Kosovo. And then when 9/11 happened, we knew that we were going to be the first ones in. And
But
of course
by
we
the
were.
way, you speak such a good Farsi, and I've known you for like what, almost
Oh shit,
2007.
2007, so just shy of 20 years now. Yeah.
Yeah, and you spoke to my aunt. She spoke Farsi, and she was very impressed.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Who the hell
People
is
are
that
usually
guy?"
pretty impressed because they're like, "What the fuck is this cracker doing speaking Farsi?"
Yeah, this white boy. This white guy is like, because I called my aunt one time a few years ago, and you were talking to her in Farsi, and she was like, "Who the hell is this guy?" She thought you were CIA at the time, and I was like,
Wouldn't be the first time I was accused of being a jasus. That's Farsi for spy.
Yeah, jasus. It's same thing in Arabic, by the way.
Oh wow. Okay, I didn't realize that.
It's amazing. It was like your Farsi was pivotal because fast forward to basically when we met in Basra, you were talking to a lot of the Iraqi ISAF in Farsi, and you were able to communicate with them in Farsi without a linguist,
Yeah,
without an Arabic linguist.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of these guys, they spoke Farsi.
Because they grew up in Iran. Because
Yeah.
after the first Gulf War, a ton of Shiites had to flee to Iran because of they're being oppressed by Saddam Hussein. So and the Shiites mostly lived in southern Iraq, for the most part. So then after the fall of Saddam, they came back, and then they became ISAF soldiers. So ISAF is Iraqi Special Operations Forces.
Hey, dogs, calm down.
These are the Green Berets of Iraq. And they're some bad motherfuckers. They're tough guys.
Yeah, most of these guys died.
Yeah, I know, because they got abused.
Mosul.
Yeah.
Mosul.
Fighting ISIS.
Yep.
Because they were professionally trained compared to the regular Iraqi army units at the time. I have no idea what their state of training is now, but they were far below the ISAF.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, most of the guys like, a lot of the officers that we like, Ayad, we already had a guy. What was his name? His head got gashed up by that ESP and that Humvee we got hit by.
Lamar?
Lamar. Yeah.
Lieutenant
Yeah.
Lamar. That's the sound, Lieutenant Lamar. Hold on a second.
The dogs are going ape shit.
No, down. Down.
Yep. AJ's gonna put the dogs into a timeout.
Down.
Rama is like medically retired after that EFP we got hit by.
Yeah, he got serious brain damage from that.
We thought he was dead.
Yeah, we thought he was dead, and so did Andrew. Ramal's dead. Ramal's dead.
Yeah. The fucking gash in his head. It was so big. It was like I had no idea he survived. To be honest,
Yeah,
I had no idea.
tough guy.
Yeah, tough guy. Very unfortunate. You know what happened to what's his name? Captain Michelle.
Michelle.
Yeah, Michelle. Uh, and Ramadi during the ISIS operation, uh, he got hit by an IED. He got hit by an IED, and it gushed his stomach, and he's on like a whatchamacallit, a bag that like a
Colostomy bag.
yeah, colostomy bag. Yeah, till now, and luckily his wife is a physician.
Oh,
So
I did not know that.
yeah, so he got married to a physician from Baghdad, and well, obviously he's medically retired from the Iraqi ISAF, and yeah, most of the guys are dead, man. Because when I went back, 2017, to do the final ISIS push in Mosul, it was like only Iraqi ISAF actually doing, and obviously our guys uh, doing the door kick in Mosul between East and West Mosul, and the rest of like the IRU from the Iraqi Special Police Force and all that stuff. They were doing some skirmishes and whatnot, but majority of the Iraqi military and the militias, it was just like securing perimeters outside.
Let the ISOF do their job.
Yeah,
It's because they were heroes, man. It's the best indigenous force I ever worked with in my entire career. 25 years, most of that in special forces. The ISOF, they were heroes. We loved working with 6 ISOF specifically.
yeah, but yeah, so
Captain
yeah.
Michelle, Captain Ayad, Lieutenant Ramah, and who was the
Battalion commander.
not the battalion commander, the captain or lieutenant, I can't remember, that Ramah replaced. He ended up leaving to go, I think, work with one of the SWAT teams.
Oh, Ayad.
Was it? No, not
No,
Ayad.
no, his brother. No, his brother. It was the shit. I forgot his name.
Anyway, they were outstanding officers, and they were, especially, NCO Corps isn't nearly as strong in most places in the world as it is in the Western militaries, but within the ISOF, they actually had a strong NCO Corps. It wasn't NCO by name only; they actually had the authority to get stuff done like they do in the U.S. military.
Yeah, because we trained them.
Because we trained them to be just like
yeah,
us.
we habilitated them to have that authority because you know the Iraqi military was like the NCO Corps is like it's nothing, and it's still true nowadays. It's like the NCO Corps in the overall Iraqi military, or even any military outside of ours, the NCO Corps, like they don't have any authority except the ISAF, the Iraqi Special Operation Force.
Yep.
And because they have so much authority, because we created that entire. Well, initially started
their
with
example was us out of an ODA. You've got 10 enlisted guys, and they're the ones out there working as the primary advisors to the company commanders. We would work with the battalion command, the leadership team, me and the captain and the warrant officer, but the NCOs, our NCOs, are acting as co-equivalents with the company commanders out there leading them, so they see how strong an NCO Corps can be. It was a good example to them, and man, did they run with it. They did a great job.
Yeah. As long as you give them the authority to do their job, they will do it. And we had, with the ISAF guys and the 36th Battalion, the 2nd Battalion, the 3rd Battalion, and our 6th Battalion in Basra, we gave them that authority. It was like, hey, you guys are NCOs, you're leaders, and take your leadership seriously, and they did.
Yep.
And we were very impressed, actually. We had some serious NCOs that came from the 36th Battalion from Baghdad to take over, and those guys were freaking solid, man. Yeah, they were like true fucking fighters. and I was very impressed by their tactics and everything. Even though I was kicking their ass all the time. Yeah, but it was it was amazing to see to watch these guys like grow from somebody coming in from nowhere or like a very poor family into growing into be leaders and fighters for actual freedom, and not just freedom is for a good cause.
Yeah. Excellent cause.
Absolutely excellent cause. I've it forever left an impact for me. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it did the same for you and the rest of our team, actually. But yeah, those guys are extremely professional. They were good. They were good at what they were doing.
They were very good.
Yeah,
In,
but
in an urban environment, I would put them against the best of our regular infantry units in an urban environment, because that's very specifically where they train and where they operated. They just weren't accustomed to working in a rural environments. We just did. I mean, everything happens in the deal in the desert.
Yeah,
There's not much going on in the desert. Everything happens in the cities, and they were fucking good, and they were so fucking loyal to us, and we were loyal to them. It was a growing experience. That's what Special Forces does. Is we you know the deal. Is we're supposed to train and equip other forces to be able to fight for themselves in whatever freedom struggle that they have. But usually the results are mediocre. But man, those guys were shit hot. They were the best guys I ever worked with. In the beginning, I remember because I had a low level of expectation, because I've worked with so many different other countries,
indigenous
groups.
Yeah.
Probably the most experience I had was with the Kuwaiti army. Brother, night and day difference between the Kuwaitis and the Iraqis. So at first, we had low expectations, but they were like, "Man, we can do this," and they had a lot of experience. It wasn't like we just grabbed a bunch of guys and it started from scratch. The battalion had been formed. They had worked with one team before we got there, but they had drawn a lot of experienced officers and NCOs from the other ISOF units.
Yep.
To create the framework, the foundation, the structure of the battalion, and then brought in all the new bodies around that. And so they'd gone through their initial training cycles and got up to speed.
Selection and all that stuff.
Yeah, and they had formed and they'd worked with another team. Not every team is the same. Not every ODA
is the same,
created equal.
Yeah.
The team before us had a lot of biases that did not allow them to see the potential in this battalion. So when we first got there, we're reading all their after action reports and their evaluations of the different officers and NCOs and things like that. It's like, dang, what do we step into? We walked into a shit show.
Yeah. Where do we start from?
What the fuck? This is going to be hard. But then when we started working with these guys, like, holy cow, they're fucking motivated. They're working hard. Their NCOs and officers actually know what the fuck they're doing. I didn't even realize that they had drawn the core of the leadership from the other battalions.
From the other battalions.
And they were already experienced.
Yep.
That came into play the first time when we ran our own ISAFAC. SAFAWAC is a thing, or it used to be a thing of Special Forces.
Yeah.
Because you kind of end up specializing within Special Forces. So CQB is kind of a, close quarters battle, urban warfare, things like that. It's kind of a specialty. Not kind of, it's a specialty within the U.S. Army Special Forces. So we developed a program was developed called SAFAWAC, Special Forces Advanced Urban Combat Training. And what that was meant to do is to give everybody in Special Forces at least a baseline on how to do urban warfare and how to clear buildings and things like that. Because the techniques, the TTPs, are significantly different than they are in a rural environment, which is what we learn in the Q course. We learn all about fighting in the woods and the mountains and the desert and things like that, but we don't learn about fighting in the city, and it's a very different animal. Yeah,
it's a whole different beast. Yeah.
So what we did is we adapted the curriculum from SAFAWAC, and we called it ISAFAC, Iraqi Special Forces Advanced or Special Operations Advanced Urban Combat Training. It was just a little bit shortened of a version, but not very much, and we had a lot of support for ammo and things like that. And when we first started running that course, we're trying. The very first thing you do is a couple weeks on what we call the flat range. It's just getting people up to speed on the advanced combat marksmanship capability. Because all these guys already have basic marksmanship training, but advanced marksmanship training has to do with being able to shoot a lot quicker, double taps, things like that. Being able to transition between your rifle and your pistol.
Who's a better shooter?
In a hurry. Who's a better shooter? What are you talking about? Amongst who?
Us. I was a good fucking shooter.
Oh, you're a very good shooter. I mean, you pissed a lot of the ice off.
I think you were the best.
The Terp was fucking could outshoot basically all of them. But he had been working with First Marine Corps and then Special Operations for a long time, so he had a big head start.
Yeah, but I think you were like the best pistol shot we had.
Yeah,
Like
don't let Chad hear that.
Oh, Chad was getting jealous. Yeah, I think you were like the best pistol shot, handgun, and everybody, like even the contingency like the SAS guys. Yeah, you were a better shot than those guys.
Yeah, we loved working with it. Only time I ever worked with the SAS was down there with Alice and Steven down in Basra, and I love those guys. But I'm sure there's things that they're better at than we are. It's just different training philosophies. But yeah.
Yeah, just so you guys know, AJ is like the fucking Glock queen. Probably the M9 queen or king. Like it was like a better pistol shot than everybody else out there in the team, and our basically partner forces as well. I was.
Did you hear that, Chad?
Yeah, Chad. Yeah, and but I think I'm better shot than AJ right now.
Oh, probably. I haven't been able to shoot much lately. So.
Yeah,
And it is a perishable skill, absolutely.
Yeah, so and by the way, my rifle, these guys, they were shooting the small caliber of like fucking 5.56 bitch ass fucking M4.
Yeah, but Steven had a pimped out AK.
Yeah, I had a pimped out AK 7.62, and I was still shooting better than them.
Wink.
That dog, man, he was like, he's catching things like
Yeah,
on the fly.
He quit.
Yeah, he quit. Yeah, so, yeah, by the way, AJ is like, he's like a brother or father figure to me. It's like a lot of people don't know. I would not be alive if it wasn't for this guy. And by the way, he's my sponsor to come to the United States.
Well, our whole team was a sponsor to come to the United States.
No, it's actually you,
Chad, yeah.
Phil, and Tommy.
And Chad, and I think Tommy did the most actual work. Like, I know
Tommy did the drafting letter.
And I know Chad was getting a hold of senators and congressmen and everything else.
Yeah.
Because there's a special program